Thank you, Robbie. Welcome, everybody, to the convention. On behalf of the NSCAA, we're very excited to be here in St. Louis. We've got a great convention center set up. We hope that you will enjoy the clinics, the exhibit hall, attend the meal functions and meetings if you're here for that. But at this moment, it's my pleasure to introduce my good friend and the NSCAA Director of Coaching Education and Development, Jeff Tipping. Jeff's topic will be transitional exercise, teaching the most important moment in soccer. Jeff Tipping.
Thank you very much, Al. Thank you, everybody, for attending the convention. And Al is departing his office as president. He has been a great president supporting coaching education, and it's going to be he's going to be tough to replace. Okay. Tonight's session is going to be on transition play. The most important moment in soccer is when the ball turns over. Gerard Houllier said the most important moment in soccer is when the ball turns over from the attack to the defense, and that certainly is becoming more and more a factor. Almost 50% of the goals in the last Euros were scored on counterattacks. So tonight's session is looking at the moment that the ball switches over from attack to defense, and now from defense to attack. There are 4 moments in soccer. The Dutch have identified 4 moments in soccer. The first moment is when your team is in possession of the ball. When your team is in possession of the ball. Second moment is when your team loses possession of the ball. And the disposition of your play is when you lose possession of the ball can be a real problem if they're too spread out. That's why you see more and more teams playing with a deep-lying midfield player who is there specifically to stop the counterattack. Third moment in soccer is when the opponents have the ball. And when the opponents have the ball, you're able to organize your defense to defend against them. And the fourth moment is when the opponent loses the ball. How is your team disposed when the opponent loses the ball? So these are the 4 main moments of soccer. And tonight we're going to be looking at how important it is now becoming to be aware of this and also to train players in the recognition and the execution of the moments of transition. Okay? So this is a very important topic, and you'll see it transition becoming more and more an element in our coaching academies. The actual session on transition in terms of teaching the players basically consists of 5 factors. The first one is developing a strategy, having a strategy to deal with transition. And that includes such things as forcing the opponents into predictable areas of the field. Do I force opponents out, or do I force opponents into the middle of the field? Well, some of that depends upon what your philosophy is, but some people believe it's easier to counterattack when the ball's in the middle of the field than when it is out on the touchline. Another factor to think about in terms of your strategy is falling back and allowing the opponents to come forward. So instead of the high pressure that we've seen, is low pressure and luring the opponents forward so we can counterattack into the space behind them. This is very important. Another consideration is when the ball has gone past your forwards. What position do you put your forwards in anticipation that you're going to win the ball? So that's developing a strategy. Then we begin to look at the actual changeover itself, because it's all about the interception. The moment of interception, it will either be a tackle or it will be an interception of a pass. So what the player does at the moment of interception and how the player reads with the visual cues what is available to the player will be one of 3 things. Can I pass the ball long over the top of the back 4? If I'm pressured, do I play the ball in short into a forward and then go and support to get the counterattack going? The third one is, can I run with the ball and dribble on a counterattack because I have space? So we're going to look at all of these different little exercises that try and teach the players these important cues.